Sounds good.
Thank you.
Great. Awesome. Hey, Juan, nice to connect with you. My name's Ashley Dzurnak. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I'm a recruitment director here with City Year. So super excited to share a little bit more about what we do and obviously happy to answer any questions you might have. I'm going to go ahead and share like a brief presentation, probably 10, 15 minutes at most, and then happy to answer any questions. We can have more of a conversation, but feel free to chime in if there's anything urgent as we're going through this. Just to share a little bit more about me to kind of kick this off, I've worked at City Year for about the past 5 years as part of our recruitment team. And prior to that, I spent 2 years serving with City Year as an AmeriCorps member right after I graduated from college. So I did my service in Columbus, Ohio, but we have a lot of different cities and options. So I'll share a little bit more about what that looks like as well. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I have some visuals we can follow along so you don't have to just look at me the whole time. Perfect. Are you able to see the slide? Great. Um, so before I share more about, what we do here at City Year, I always like to start with why we exist. So as you may know, there is a lot of education and equity in our country. And, each year around 800,000 students do not complete high school. That's a student deciding to drop out about every 31 seconds. That's a significant number of students. And I think we all know the importance of education, especially a high school diploma, just in terms of upward mobility. However, we do know that this is a solvable problem. We have more knowledge today than ever about how young people learn and develop and the resources they need, but too many students just don't have access to those learning environments where they can really thrive due to those systemic inequities. But with this, we can kind of identify the cities and communities and schools that need that extra support and those extra resources. And that's really where we focus in here at City Year, thinking about how we can connect young adults to uplift those students and help them reach their potential. In addition to identifying those schools and communities, we can even kind of pinpoint what specific students might need that extra support. So there was some research done by John Hopkins, kind of identifying the 3 early warning indicators, which are attendance, behavior, and course performance. And they kind of found that a student that is off track in just one of those areas can be a significant, like kind of like red flag that they may be at risk for not graduating high school. And just a little spoiler alert, those are the 3 big areas that our City Year members support students with. So a student who's off track in just one of those areas as early as 6th grade has a 75% chance of not completing high school. But we know that students who reach the 10th grade on track and on time are 3 to 4 times more likely to graduate high school. So at City Year, we really think about supporting students in the 3rd through 9th grade, giving them that extra support at that crucial time in their education career to help them with their attendance, behavior, course performance, whatever they might need that extra support with to help them successfully graduate high school. But yeah, now that we've kind of talked a little bit about some of the inequities, kind of the issue with our education, want to share a little bit more about what we do here at City Year, what it's like to be part of our team. So to kick things off, I'd like to start that, at City Year, we definitely take a holistic approach to how we're supporting students. Of course, we know that good grades are important, but students need more than academic success to be thriving as young people. So our City Year members are both tutors as well as near peer mentors, really thinking about how we can be that champion there for students. This is just kind of a snapshot of some of the different ways that we support students, but I really think the easiest way to paint the picture is to kind of walk you through a typical day with City Year and kind of some of the different things you might be doing. So City Year is structured so it's a 1 year program. We follow the academic calendar. And during that year, you would be serving alongside 6 to 8 other members at one specific school. That just provides a lot of consistency for students, teachers, as well as yourself, kind of being part of that school community for the academic year. Our day starts pretty early. We typically get there before students arrive, have a quick check-in with the team, share any updates, announcements, and then from there, we're at the door, greeting students, starting the day on a positive note, kind of bringing some energy into the building. With that, moving forward, your day is going to mirror that of your partner teacher, but rather than having the responsibilities of the teacher, you'll be kind of acting in a little bit of a different role. So each person's kind of paired up with a partner teacher. You're in their classroom, but in their classroom, you're doing a couple different things. So usually in the morning, we provide some support with attendance. That could look like making phone calls home for students who haven't yet arrived, maybe students who are struggling to come to school every day, kind of just checking in with them, setting small goals. A lot of our teams like to do like school-wide initiatives. The 95% Club is pretty popular. Once a month, any student who reaches that attendance benchmark gets invited to like a special celebration hosted by City Year. For us, kind of step one is making sure students are coming to school each and every day. Moving on from there, kind of the next big piece you'll be doing is that academic support. So like I mentioned, you'll actually be in the classroom doing a couple of different things. So sometimes the lead teacher will be, in front of the classroom giving a lesson, and you'll really be acting as a second adult, answering questions, keeping students on task, kind of assisting the teacher. More so, you really be focused on working with students one-on-one or in small groups. That can be as simple as you pulling up a chair next to a student's desk, going through an assignment together, maybe taking 2 or 3 students to the library or the City Year room, thinking about how you might be able to work with them without all of the distractions of the classroom. The academic work we do is two-folded. So first, we do work with the teacher to keep students on track with their daily assignments. But second, we also work with the teacher to identify students who maybe are 2 to 3 grade levels off track and thinking about how we can really provide individualized interventions to kind of work to get them back to grade level. So I would say doing a lot of the work that we know our teachers want to, but they may not have the capacity to sit down with every student one-on-one when they have the responsibility of the entire class of students. So that's kind of our academic model. And then, like I mentioned, the other big piece of what we do is really act as near peer mentors. So we're really focused on building positive relationships with students, kind of being that person there for them. City Year members are uniquely positioned because we're in the building full time. You're an adult in the building, but a little bit closer in age. All of our members are 18 to 25. So typically someone who's able to really connect with students, bond with them, kind of be there for them. You might be the person that if a student's having an off day, you kind of just check in with them, see if there's anything they want to talk about, connect them to resources, celebrate when they reach their goals, all sorts of things. And this is happening, in the classroom, during transitions, at lunch, recess, whatever that might look like. It's very organic. It's not like 9 to 10 a.m. I'm a tutor, 10 to 11 I'm a mentor. It's all happening at the same time. Other than those kind of big things, like, when your teacher's in class, that's when you'd be working with students. If they have a planning period, that's kind of an off period for you. Like I mentioned, we might help with lunch and recess, especially if you're in an elementary building. And then we are in the school about 2 hours after the day ends, leading after school programming. Typically, that's focused around extra homework help, academic interventions, but also a really cool opportunity to share some of your own interests, passions, hobbies with students as well. So that's kind of what a typical day with City Year looks like. Always like to share, working with students, being in a school, no 2 days are ever alike. So this is more of a blueprint to a pretty dynamic experience where you'll be, thinking on your feet, kind of rolling with the different challenges of the day, and kind of being flexible to best meet the needs of the students. Okay, so now that I kind of walked you through what you'd be doing, want to touch a little bit around some of the benefits of serving with City Year. So, as a City Year member, there's going to be many different types of benefits you receive both during as well as after your service experience. So first, some of the more tangible benefits. All of our members do receive a biweekly living stipend. If you're relocating more than 50 miles, you do get relocation assistance. The Siegel Education Award, just over $6,000. That's something that can be used for any education related expense, and it's awarded at the end of the program. So you can use that if you have any loans from undergrad, if you're going to grad school in the future, whatever that might look like. We do provide health insurance at no cost, including dental and optical. Our members get time off throughout the year. And then we have a pretty robust employee assistance program, access to counseling service. All of our members get a free 5-year access to 10% Happier, which is an app just thinking about mental health, well-being. There is a big focus on that here at City Year. And then additionally, because we're part of the AmeriCorps network, all of our members are eligible to put all public student loans in forbearance during their year of service, which essentially means you don't have to worry about making those payments, and any interest that is accrued on those loans can be paid off at the end of your year of service, which is pretty nice. Additionally, I would say a lot of folks are looking at City Year as a gap year, maybe after undergrad, before going to grad school, or maybe as a year off before entering the workforce, or trying to figure out what's next for them. We know that, and we do have partnerships with more than 100 different schools for a wide variety of tuition scholarships. This can be anything from a waived application fee all the way to full tuition opportunities in a wide variety of fields. Even though City Year is an education focused nonprofit, we have folks from almost every different major and background coming to serve with us and doing almost anything you can imagine after. So as you can kind of see here on the screen, of course, there's education focused programs as well as medical, law school, social work, all sorts of different things. So that's something that's exciting, that even if, staying in education isn't what's next for you, there's still ways that this could be a pathway to earning some money for grad school if that's something you're interested in. And then kind of like I just mentioned, our alumni do go out and do a wide variety of things after. So just always like to double down on that. I think there is a misconception that because this is an education focused program, that it's limited to folks who are interested in teaching. But like I said, we really have folks from a lot of different paths looking to do different things after. Our big thing is we're really looking for young adults who want to be civically engaged, kind of spend a year having a meaningful impact while also committed to their own professional growth, regardless of what career path they might be pursuing in the future. And then kind of, I guess, like fun fact, about half of our staff members are City Year alum. So that's something that kind of happened to me. Found a lot of passion for the work we were doing, and something that I thought would be a 1-year experience has turned into my career pathway, at least for now. The last thing I definitely want to touch in is just a little bit about the professional development. So one thing that I really didn't know when I was coming into City Year is how much this program would help me grow and develop as a young professional. So most of your time is spent in the school, really dedicated to supporting students, helping them grow and develop. But at the same time, our staff is deeply invested in you, trying to understand, this is only a 1-year program. So what's next? How can we maximize your time with us? Different networking opportunities, connecting you with mentors in the fields you're interested in exploring, really making sure you're having the opportunity to develop those skills and grow as a young professional. Sometimes that looks like, like professional development days throughout the year, meeting with mentors, sometimes in person or virtually, networking opportunities, mock interviews, resume reviews, all sorts of different things. One thing that I thought was really cool was we had a lot of different leaders from the community come in and share more about their career path. And it was always interesting to hear how someone got to where they were, which I think as a young professional, that can feel a little daunting, not knowing, those next steps to take. So it was cool to have professionals kind of spending time talking to the City Year members so we can learn more about what's next. And they were always offering to be a support for us, which was really cool. So kind of last thing I want to highlight in terms of if you're interested in learning more what that looks like, is just our different locations. So like I mentioned previously, we are in 29 cities across the country. So I'll give you a moment to just kind of explore all those different options. One cool thing is, as part of our application, you get to pick which city you want to serve in. So you have total ownership over that. If you're looking to say somewhere closer, we do have options in Chicago as well as Milwaukee, but you really can go wherever you might want to. If you're looking to go someplace warmer, Miami, Orlando, LA, if you're looking maybe to go to the Northeast, Boston, that's where our headquarters is located, which is pretty cool. But totally up to you. So sometimes folks use this as a way to go someplace they've always wanted to go. It's kind of like a 1-year commitment. Other times folks think about where they might be going to grad school in the future. You can use this as a way to kind of spend your gap year relocating, serving with City Year before starting that program, whatever that might look like. But yeah, I'll put this slide up for a moment just so we can capture my contact information if you're interested. But then I'm happy to open it up for any questions you might have. I know I've been kind of sharing a lot of information, but would love to learn a little bit more about you and maybe anything you're curious about.
Yeah, I think you are offering a lot of great opportunities. The first question I have is, are international students eligible for this?
That is a great question. So right now, unfortunately, because we are part of AmeriCorps, all of our members do have to be US citizens. So at this time, we're not able to accommodate international students.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. For students who do apply, do you have any tips on the application, resume, interview, something like that?
Yes, definitely. So I would say that a couple of things. So we try to keep our application process pretty simple and straightforward for folks who are interested in applying. A couple of things they would need is an updated copy of their resume. They'll just upload that. Contact information for one professional reference. They would be filling out the online recommendation form. And then there are 4 short answer questions. Those really help us better understand your interest and fit in the program, how this connects to your long-term goals. One of those questions is focused on teamwork and collaboration, as that's like a big piece of our service program. But really, I would say it's pretty holistic. Usually, the most time-consuming part of the interview for folks is picking their location. So oftentimes, folks may be trying to decide between a few different cities. And so for them, they have to pick which one's best so the application can go to the correct city. After that, I would say the interview process is typically a 1-step phone interview that usually lasts 45 minutes to an hour. And again, it's just a way for our team to kind of gain a deeper understanding of who you are, your interest in the program, ensuring that you'd be a good fit to work with our students. I would say most of those questions are focused a little bit more around some of your prior experiences. There's a couple of scenario questions about how you might interact with students. But again, I think something that does make us a little bit different is we're not necessarily looking for one specific previous experience, or you have to have done something to qualify. We're more trying to bring in diverse young adults from all sorts of different backgrounds and experiences who are really excited about doing this work and kind of understand the importance of giving back to students, supporting them with education, and also are, invested in bettering themselves and growing and developing as a young professional.
Yeah, that sounds good. Other than that, I don't think I have any other questions in mind right now.
Yeah, and I don't either, actually. I appreciate you. It was pretty, or very thorough. So I even learned this additional information today, and I've seen a presentation from City Year many, many times.
Well, good. I'm glad it could be informative and helpful. Great. If you do have any other questions, please feel free to just reach out. My contact information was at the end. So if any other students are interested in learning more, always happy to connect. So please feel free to pass this along or share my information with them.
Absolutely, Ashley. And I appreciate it again. I know you're busy, covering several regions here. So you're welcome to do this anytime. Or if you ever, if anyone ever fills this Chicago role again, they're welcome to come table, here in person. I know Sailor used to do that sometimes. So thank you again. And I'll be happy to share this with anyone who's interested.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much for inviting me again. Have a good day.
Thank you. Stay warm in the snow.
Thanks for joining. Bye.
Yeah.
You too.
Thanks.